Morning, everyone. I get to be outside again. It's overcast. There is a storm front going north of us. You can kind of see some storm clouds over there. I don't know if it's going to get here or not, but I have time to wander a little bit out here on the outside. Everything, of course, is greening up now. The geese are gone right now, but when they were here, oh, I still see some over there. They've got little ones. So it's beautiful to see. So today I just kind of wanted to just have a general talk again. Get out and enjoy the outdoors that God created for us. We have arguments sometimes with whether or not science and the Bible agree or disagree on things. The bottom line, there should be no disagreement between the Bible and science if we understand both of them correctly. And that's the problem, we don't. They were locking people up. They locked Galileo up, put him on house arrest because he said the earth was not the center of the universe. Mankind thinking that the earth was the center of everything. Well, it may be God's focus, and Jerusalem may be his city, but it's not the center. We know that we're in a vast universe now. Oh, I gotta watch where I step. This is geese country. I already talked about that. So they thought the earth was the center of everything, and they were wrong. They thought the earth was flat until they noticed sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I think that'd make a good song. Seeing the ships come in and realize you can see there's one of our eagles flying back into the mast. I wish I could show you this stuff, but this camera just won't pick up that stuff far away. They'd see the ships come in, and they'd see the tip of the mast, and there'd be a flag up there. They'd see that first. And then the ship, as it got closer, you got to see more and more of it, because the curvature of the earth was hiding it. We now know that the earth is round. We see the other planets that they're round. Of course, there are people that think we did not go to the moon. Quite frankly, it would have taken more technology to fake the moon landing than to actually show it. We went there. We went there with minimal technology, rather dangerously. The skin of the LIM, the Lunar Excursion Module, was thick aluminum. But it wasn't designed to work in our atmosphere. It was designed to work in the moon's atmosphere, which is minimal. And weight is a lot less on the moon. One of the astronauts took a golf ball up an iron and drove the golf ball a long ways. We're just beginning to understand that what we know is this much of the universe. At one time, we thought we could pretty much bottle it all up. We can understand it all, but we don't. God did an amazing thing when he created this universe. He did an even more amazing thing when he created us, controlled by a DNA. There's so many variables in the DNA that our computers are just now being able to appreciate the variation, the numbers. I forget how many hundreds of millions of people have been on the earth. I forget the exact number, but the number that have been here and have born and died on this planet from the beginning of creation are nothing more than a fraction, a small fraction of how many options are available in the DNA. Each and every one of us are unique in how God created us, and yet God knows everything about us. He knows what's up here, inside of here. We don't even know sometimes what's up there, but God does, and He loves us anyway. I'm down walking on the water's edge. I've got to be careful. One, because I don't know where the ground is going to get soft and wet and muddy. I've done this in the past. I also don't want to run into snakes that can be out here. I guess everybody's afraid of the possible storm. We've only got 2 fishermen out here. 3 if you count the one that's staying out here in the trailer, but that's still 3 in a park this big. This place ought to be jam-packed full of fishermen, and they're catching them pretty good out here. If you're into fishing, having a beautiful lake like this is both appealing and rewarding. You can catch quite a number of meals out here. And seafood is good for you. Well, in general it is. Most food, if you stop messing with the DNA, is good for you. You can't home grow stuff. We've determined through science that if you raise cattle on grass feed, like around me, see, you got grass. Now, there's not enough here for cattle, but because we keep it trimmed down, and this can sometimes be underwater. But if you raise beef on cattle, they're better fed and better nutrition than if they're raised in a barn where you feed them. You're better off to let them out and eat the natural stuff. Natural is what God created. When we try to mess with things, we mess it up. The science is beginning to find that a lot of our diseases are man-made. Now, it's going to be hard-pressed for them to get somebody to admit to it, because then they'd be liable. But things like arthritis, we say, well, people have arthritis. Do you know that animals that are raised for production typically don't have arthritis, because we can give them things to cure it? Not just ease the pain, but cure it, because they want animals to be healthy so they can grow up and we can use them in the food chain. So there's arthritis medication for animals. Do you know that ivermectin, which was used to treat COVID, was an animal medicine first? You can get funding. I'm looking at the birds flying over. We got a pair over here flying, and then another pair over here flying. Oh, and there's another one. There are quite a bit of them out here, and I'm looking over on the edge of the water. I don't know if you can see behind me. Let's see, where is that? That's where the 3 little trees are. There's some geese there on the edge, and on the far edge, where this little bathroom is, right there off of my ear, there's a bunch of turkey vultures. Lots of critters here. Now, I'm not going to go any further around this way because there's some geese there, and I think they got some little ones, and I don't want to scare them. I'm not going to feed the birds this year. It was fun last year, but because I used to go with my parents down to the local lake, and we'd sit there on a bench and feed the birds. Quiet before the storm, potentially. It is raining north here. I don't know. The storms that typically come from the west kind of come at an angle, and they go across and up at the same time. So they move faster going up, but they still come across slowly. So eventually it'll get here. We're supposed to have 3 or 4 days of rain. I'm hoping it lays off for a little bit. I've got to do another storage run tomorrow. I'm not going and just renting a truck and moving my storage because I'm in town, I'm visiting my son. It gives me a chance to see him, which is good. I enjoy that. I'm going to try to get him down in May. I'm going to try to get him down to stay for another week. He seems to enjoy it, and I definitely do. The bottom line, take everything with a grain of salt. We're learning, and there are evil people out there whose intentions are to harm human beings. If you look at organizations like PETA, their top people have been interviewed. Would this be a better place if you could remove humans? And they would say yes. Well, because there are bad humans, but there are good humans from a worldly point of view. To God, we're all filthy rags when it compares to what's in heaven. We'll get that blessing when we get to go to heaven. But until we do, we just do the best we can down here. Get out and enjoy this. Science or no science, whether they're right or wrong about some of this stuff, you can enjoy what's here. Just be a little smart. In general, don't do anything by yourself. It's better off if you're with somebody. But Jesus, if you're a Christian, is with you always, so you're never alone. Something has been eaten around here. There's bits and pieces of feathers. The big birds will eat the little birds. The big fish will eat the little fish. It's nature. Look at this beauty here. Ready for you to come down and visit. And this is one of many. This is a county park. There are state parks in all states. There are federal parks in most states. Georgia doesn't have any federal parks for some reason. I'm watching carefully where I step. This is kind of mushy ground. The water was in here at one point, and it still hasn't gotten completely dried out because it keeps raining. When I continue walking here, I'm going to get to the water's edge from the last time we had a storm. Storms will drop enough rain to bring the lake up. And I'm coming up to the barrier right now. Okay, I'm standing right where I'm standing now. If you look down, you see all that debris. That's where the lake came up to. So I'm not quoting Bible verses today. I'm showing you God's handiwork. He thought about this. He planned it out. He knew everything that was going to happen. Everything has a purpose. Even the devil has a purpose. God can't do anything but love us. But sometimes we need to be taught a lesson. Judgment. That's kind of the devil's job. And he's good at that. But everything has a purpose. You have meat eaters, you have flesh eaters, carnivores, you have herbivores, plant eaters. Every place there's a niche for everything. Well planned. Every time we try to mess with stuff, we mess it up. We're trying to breed extinct animals now. We've got the dire wolf now back. They say they're going to do the woolly mammoth. There's like the one the comedian says, there's at least 3 videos telling us why that's a bad idea. Jurassic Park. Comes another truck. So this is just a quick little walk around. I felt like getting out, stretching my legs. I don't go anywhere without God, so I thank Him daily for His creation, for what He's done for us. Trees, all this stuff can just, every year, grow on its own. We don't have to do anything. Now, we may cut the grass because that's aesthetically appealing. And there's a safety issue with cutting the grass. People are this close. You don't want snakes sneaking up or other critters. But that's it. Watching what the people are doing. I kind of keep an eye on things, but there's not a whole lot to do during the weekday. Thank God daily for everything that He created for us. Thank Him for creating you. You're unique, very unique. And God loves each and every one of us individually. Thank Him for that. Till we meet in the clouds, God bless.